No, you're good. Thanks.
I'll call the East Cocalico Township Supervisor meeting for October 1st order. Will you please rise and pledge allegiance to the flag? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please silence your cell phones. We have a distinguished guest here today, Roger Booz from Booz Aluminum Foundry, and Ken's going to help us give him a letter of thank you for what he has done for the township, and also explain why we're recognizing Mr. Booz. Please come forward.
We're tight for space, so we'll stay back here. Is that okay?
Can you stand here?
Yes. This is because of the wonderful donation they made for us. When we did the kids' storm drain marker contest, they agreed to help us produce them and also donate 424 copies of it, which is a very significant contribution. It's greatly appreciated. And
We like the efforts behind it, so.
And we have a plaque.
Thank you very much. Anybody else to see it?
Since you told us a minute, so.
You're smiling behind the mask, right?
Absolutely. Thank you, Bill.
On behalf of
So that's one of the actual storm drain markers attached there.
Yes. So, thank you very much for your participation. You really helped out a lot.
Hope that works out real nice for you guys.
We will.
Thank you, Mr. Bruce.
Thank you.
Now,
Yes,
if I
thank
ask
you.
somebody to do something for me,
Take a picture.
take a picture. Well, so you understand, we do a newsletter, and my sister did a full article in our newsletter on this part to our employees. So, if you don't mind, just getting you the camera.
What did we do before cell phones?
Okay, yeah.
And Ms. Mitchell? I can send you mine as well.
Okay. All right, thank you.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciated.
Greatly appreciated.
Kind of weird, didn't believe me.
It's a different world
Yeah, you
today.
don't get to see customers anymore, do you?
No,
So,
Well, thank you very much.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
A round of applause for Mr. Booz.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
There were no executive sessions between last meeting and this meeting. Thank you, Mr. Booz. I'd like to read this before we do the minutes. Robert's Rules of Government, a meeting state the chairman shall run the meeting. I feel during the last couple meetings disrespectful behavior was demonstrated. I want to apologize to those individuals that were hurt and state that from now on, I will expect and require no unkind treatment toward any individual in this hall. We can express our differences of opinion, but it must be done in a respectful way. Any additions or corrections to the minutes?
Carol, can I add to that?
We'll add to it later, okay? When we discuss the road thing, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, meeting minutes for September 17th. Any additions or corrections?
I did not have it.
I'll look for a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I'll make that one. Sorry, Jeff, you want some more time?
No,
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Land planning.
All right,
Casey.
first on our list for today is the red running exhaust at Jamestown. You will see that there was an updated engineering report sent out. We received some correspondence Monday morning that had this item in it. We decided to put this on the agenda for today. As most of you remember, the red running exhaust project is the construction of approximately 12,000 square foot auto repair facility located along the southeastern side of North Reading Road, directly across from the Redner's Quick Shop. The proposed buildings will be served with public sewer and water. The applicant and applicant consultant are actively working to button up a couple items. Their MPDF permit is under a technical review. They did recently submit an updated plan to our office on September 10th. We should have that out shortly. This past week, we did discuss a couple of waivers, modifications, and deferrals at the Planning Commission meeting. That being said, on September 25th, the township received a DEP postcard exemption public sewer from the applicant's consultant. And basically, we recommend a motion that the board authorize a representative of the Board of Supervisors to sign Section 8.d of the DEP sewage facilities postcard exemption for public sewage service related to the red running exhaust of Reamstown preliminary/final land development plan.
Anybody here representing that? No? Okay. I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you.
The next one on our list is financial security reduction for Heatherwoods Phase 3. As you may recall, Heatherwoods currently is what Tony and I would consider booming, selling houses very quickly. They recently requested their second financial security reduction for Phase 3, and that Burke's Home is the developer for that project. Based on our observations, talking with the contractors, with the developers, we went out, made an observation, discussed all those items, and would recommend that the board consider the following motion. That motion would be to authorize a $309,578 reduction in the current financial security being held by the township for the Phase 3 final plan for Heatherwoods, resulting in the remaining financial security being held by the township being reduced to $436,604.15.
Nobody here representing that either. Okay. I'll move that motion.
I'll make that motion.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you.
Similarly, the same contractor requested a security reduction for Phase 4 and 5. That would be the lower portion of the development. We also received that request a couple days before Phase 3 is listed in this sequential order. Based on that observation, talking to the developer, talking to contractors, and evaluating the site, we recommend the Board of Supervisors consider the following motion. That motion would be to authorize a $580,567 reduction in the current financial security being held by the township for the Phase 4 and 5 final plan for Heatherwoods, resulting in the remaining financial security being held by the township being reduced to $316,895.
I'll make that motion.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you.
And the last one on my action items for this morning, it relates to Pepperidge Farm. Pepperidge Farm recently constructed an engine room off the back of their current facility. That project involves some post-construction stormwater management, retrofitting, and multiple improvements. I was able to go out there last week and do a site observation. We had reviewed the as-built plans from their consultant. Based on the minor items that we identified on their as-built and at the site, we sent out an email on September 25th outlining those items and recommending that they fix them. Then we would present the following motion to the board. That board that we recommend you considering would be to authorize the full release of the current financial security currently being held for the post-construction stormwater management plan for Pepperidge Farm in the amount of $59,483.81 upon the applicant and applicant's consultant first complete the minor remaining items as highlighted in Becker's email correspondence dated September 25th, 2020, and to the satisfaction of the township.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried.
And
Thank you.
that is everything on our engineer report. If there are any questions, I can answer those at this time.
Any questions of Casey? Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Casey.
Thanks, Casey. Right, moving on to resolution 2020-08, East Cocalico Township Police Pension Minimum Municipal Obligation for the amount of $647,189 to authorize the signature of the resolution by Romero Carrasco, Chief Financial Pension Officer. Right through to 9/25/220. This is a normal standard operational when we have to do this all, and so
Every year, yeah.
Right. I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. Before proceeding, maybe it would be helpful to some people in the audience, Mr. Carrasco, to just give a little background on what that amount of money is there. That is, from my understanding, it's an obligation we have towards the police pension, minus the state subsidy that comes in for that.
Correct. So the easiest way to explain it is the MMO is defined as the minimum municipal obligation that's provided to the police pension plan. Okay? And Jeff is correct. The way that's actually calculated is we do an estimate based off of what we believe the state is going to give us in terms of their portion of the contribution. Based off of then, we do a calculation so that we understand what that total obligation payment is going to look like. Okay, that's done on an annualized basis, and that is what the $647,189 is for.
That does not include the state aid.
That does not include the state aid, that is correct, okay? So one of the next steps that we're going to be doing is, as part of this, is we do have the police pension board that we designed or implemented back in 2019. It was 2018. Thank you, Chief. 2018, and that board is going to be meeting, and the purpose of that meeting is to do what we need to be doing annually, which is take an extensive review of the police pension, the performance of that pension, how it's operating, do we need to make any investment changes, and so on and so forth, so that we're in line with our projections and what we believe we need to do to meet our pension obligations for our police officers in the future. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's helpful. Over the years, I've heard different reports throughout the township. Well, what is that and how is it? And, I know that over the years, and you've done a lot of research on this too, that has increased exponentially over the last 10, 12 years. But, thankfully the last 3 years, it seems like that contribution of ours has remained somewhat static. Is that your observation as well?
That's basically a good summary. Yeah. So what's really helped out is putting in place the police pension committee, because that committee is comprised of not only township officials, not only the police chief, it also has participating members in that police pension. Besides the chief, he has officers on there. And what we did with that pension is we actually have an independent, this was part of our working with the community and looking for local experts. We actually have an individual on that pension, Miss Corden, who has extensive knowledge on the finance side and the pension side, who assists us when we do those meetings. So as a full disclosure to the community, a lot of the documents on the pension side and committee and investment side and all of that, we do have an independent member who's not a board member or an employee of the township. Jill Corden does receive those documents and does review those and help us review those.
Yeah, personally, I had a bit of a concern this year when, in March and April, when the market took a little reversal, and fortunately that reversal came back. And, you know, from my observations, I've seen the investments somewhat static for the year. Is that what you were seeing too? We don't have a third quarter yet, but
No, and the difficulty with the market is you got to keep, I think most people understand, you got to keep in mind you can't have a short-term focus when you're looking at the market. You really need to have a strategic vision, so you really need to look 5, 8, 10, 15 years out. That really is the goal. The small fluctuations in the market based off of numerous factors, such as the big one, presidential elections, such as pandemic news, yeah, exactly. News about a company one way or the other. You just got to ignore those short-term impacts to the market.
are you anticipating reallocations later in the year here, or what's your thoughts for what you've seen there?
With the data that I have right now, it might happen, I'm just not sure yet.
Yeah.
That's why we need to have that next meeting. Yeah, once we have that next meeting with our administrator, then we can get a much better idea.
Consensus of opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing about the MMO is it's from a year behind.
Yeah.
It's not always, it reflects back the numbers come from
Last year.
Yeah, so you're always behind on that.
And there was a nice return on that last year.
Right.
Very nice return.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah, the most difficult part of the MMO really comes down to, for us as a community, in my opinion, is really planning for the 3, 5, 7, 10-year impact of what our contribution is going to look like. Because at that point, we're doing a lot of educated guesswork, extrapolating of where we think this market's going to go. That's the most difficult part of this number.
This is a state mandated thing, it's not something that the township is just, residents are just giving it away. This is mandated by the state that we do.
Yeah, good point.
Yes.
Good point. Okay, thank you. The analysis, I think it's helpful at this time with, there's always questions come up about that.
No, and they're good questions, Jeff, because we get so wrapped into it, we're not paying attention, and sometimes we lose track or we didn't explain it. So yeah, good questions.
Yeah.
We'll visit this in December again.
So actually, our meeting is in October.
No, but I meant
The
the
dollar
MMO.
figures.
The figures in December will be ironed out in December, we'll have to make adjustments. We've done that yearly,
But
so
we're in the ballpark.
we're in very close, we're in very good shape, so.
Okay.
Yeah, and to Penny's point, so for clarification for everyone, the 21st of this month is,
Yes.
we're in October now.
Yeah, that's our meeting.
The 21st of this month is when we're actually having that meeting.
Okay, good. I think I made that motion.
You
Yes.
did.
Jeff
And
seconded.
Jeff seconded.
Yeah.
Any other comments or questions? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you. The next one is Resolution 2020-09. The motion to adopt the Resolution 2020-09 East Cocalico Township non-uniform pension minimum municipal obligation in the amount of $33,500, which was duly authorized and signed on September 25th, 2020 by Romero Carrasco, Chief Financial Pension Officer. I'll make that motion.
And I'll second it, and once again, I guess that's a different setup for the township employees.
That's for the township employees, yeah. So again, for clarification, the first one is for uniform, which is the police officers. The second one is for non-uniform, which is the employee staff of the township. Yep.
Mary Beth stated does contribute.
Yes, Katie. Okay, I made that motion.
Second.
Jeff, second. Any other comments or questions? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you. East Cocalico Township Authority, rental agreement for 2021.
And this is the same agreement that you've had in place for many, many years now, Mr. Chairman. And the cost there, the fee that you're going to charge them has not changed over the years
Okay,
as well.
okay. Motion be to approve the execute sign for these Cocalico Township Water and Sewer Authority, the annual rental agreement for 2021. I'll make that motion.
I will second
Go
it.
ahead. Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried.
Sorry, can you clarify who was the second on that?
I was.
You were.
Oh,
That's why I need clarification.
Not a problem.
no problem. Okay. The tree proposal for
Yes,
68 Ream Road, we have ash trees that are dead at the upper pool parking lot. We have a proposal for Calico tree for $4,700 for the tree removal only. Then there's a $2,600 to find the stumps. That's two separate. Then Martin did the stumps and removed everything. That's $7,625. And from there was $10,100.
So the two Cocalico ones added together is 7,300.
Yeah. We had trees moved down to the bathhouse last year that the stumps are still there. In my opinion, I'd let the stumps for over winter and then get a new quote for the whole area and the pool area, do all the stumps at one time. That's my opinion now. What's the board wishes?
Well, I think that makes sense. The problem right now is the trees, and they're dying, they're deteriorating, it's time to get them out of there. I think at the last meeting, we had talked about, we hadn't used that Cocalico service before. Penny, is there an update on them as to, is there referrals on whether they're?
No, I have not gotten any.
I forget, somebody told me they used them and they were very pleased with them.
Okay.
Right, you never got anything back from the other outfit, right?
No, I did not. From Messenger, no, I did not.
And you contacted them, yeah, and they never got back.
Numerous times.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, what's the wish of, yes?
That's Martin Tree Service?
Yes.
Services?
Yes.
Martin, okay, I've used them, they're very good. I also know that if you go way off season, they tend to be less expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so springtime, I don't know about that, holding off, but, yeah, it's price book. But, yeah, okay. And then have a comparison, but,
They had a hard bid for taking the trees out,
Yeah, that
just that portion of it.
was 5,000.
yeah.
So, you know, we were concerned the lower bidder perhaps was, we hadn't used them before, that maybe they would not be suitable.
I asked around, word of mouth, and who's had their service,
Yeah,
you
the,
know?
the primary concern is with the low bid, it was significant enough that we wanted to make sure they understand the scope of the work
Probably, yeah.
and exactly what it is we're asking, so that there was no misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, hang on, do you want to point out to the board, if you're just going to have them remove the trees, you will see that Cocalico is moving 19 ash trees and Martin's notes 16 marked orange trees. And that is a difference of 3 trees.
There's a separate line on that, Penny, for 4 other trees on the.
Oh, 4 should be cut, okay, so they're doing 20. I see that. So it'll be 6,200 for Martin's.
Yeah.
Ralph, did you want to say something?
2 things.
Yeah.
Have you gotten certificates of insurance from all 3 bidders? I don't need to know the answer, but that's a driving risk
Yes.
issue. The other thing is, where will these trees be replaced or replanted? If you're taking them down, is there a plan to replace them at least 1 for 1?
I think we'll be waiting to see what the rec board recommends
Yeah.
on that, since it is in the park.
The trees are dead and they're a hazard to people in the
Not
area.
questioning that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good question.
in my mind, that's the rec board recommendation there, it's in the park, and we'll take it from there.
No, it could be. I've seen Martin do work for me like 10 years ago, and I've seen them do work lately. And they've really upscaled, everything, which is great, don't get me wrong. But this lower bid, just, are they starting out? Are they big like Martin, I mean, there could be reasons. I mean, with that price that Martin's giving you, I mean, I've seen that prices go up too. Because their machinery, it's just amazing what they do. But
We
just,
had Martin's, the ones down at the bathhouse, no, that was Messner's did the bathhouse, that's right, Messner did the ones in 68 of Green Road at the bathhouse, Messner's did that.
yeah.
No, I've had good reports on Cocalico. They're newer,
Yeah,
they're a younger outfit, so that's probably why the bid's lower.
there you go.
Okay, what's the wish of the board?
Yeah, I would be ready to make a motion to award tree removal to Calico Tree Service. The tree removal only,
Okay.
And that's in the amount of $4,700.
$4,700.
I'll second that motion.
Correct. Yep, and I will,
Okay, Herb? That's okay. Any other comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, Ringstown Fire Company's putting on a new roof. Tony, you want to get Phyllis in on that?
Sure. Yeah, the zoning department received an application for re-roofing of certain portions of the Reedstown Fire Department buildings. Not the entire building, but a good portion of it. And the board has in the past waived permitting fees. Now, this is just township permitting fees. There will still be building inspection fees that will not be waived, obviously, it's got to be done. It is a commercial building, and there's certain building codes that they need to adhere to. So basically, this is the question to you folks. Do you want to waive the permitting fees, the township permitting fees for this particular permit?
We've done that before.
We have done it before for various things like this. I do have the permit on my desk completed. It's already been through the review process with our building inspection service, so it's ready to go if you guys give me an answer on that.
yeah, I think absolutely we should be waiving the fees for our fire companies.
Okay.
That's the least we can do.
Then you'll make a motion to waive the Ringstown Fire Company's standard permit application fees in regard to re-roofing portion of their commercial structure.
I will make that motion, yes.
I'll second it.
Any other comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Yes.
How much was the fee being waived?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Rob.
How much was the value of the fee being waived?
I don't have that paperwork in front of me, but I can get you that number if you like, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Sorry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you. Department reports. Police Department, Chief.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning. Glad I get to say that instead of meeting. My full report's obviously next meeting. I just wanted to keep you updated on the MVR body cam project. I had a conference call included for us with Sergeant Prode and Corporal Sola in reference to the project. Delivery is going to be the end of October with installation and training in November. So we're on track, if everything goes correctly, that we should have all the equipment in place and all the training done by the end of the year. They went over a lot of the technical things. One of the things I found interesting or very nice is that when the officer has the body camera on in the car, and if it would start to beep or whatever it does in reference to the low battery, there's a plug and it's a magnetic to the camera and it's a breakaway plug. So, there should be no reasons with that. The officers can plug it in, and if they get out of the car, the cord just breaks away from the camera without any issue. And it's also coming into the 21st century compared to how we do it now, where we pull the memory cards out now and download the information. Everything is going to be done by secured Wi-Fi and stored in the cloud. We're going through the process now of determining how long each, if you want to call it category, is stored. Potentially up to 10 years, some probably forever.
Yes,
So, it's a balancing act. If an officer flags something, it can be stored for longer than the retention time. That is going to be our minimum. So we're working on that now. It's going well. The only other thing I would say is I would ask for an executive session at the end of the meeting. I do not want to say personnel issue. I would say personnel matters At least have a couple of questions, or actually not even questions. I want to inform the board. I don't need any answers from the board for that.
Okay, good.
Chief, quick question. So you will have the ability to program statute of limitations or the amount of time you're gonna,
Correct. Each category will have a retention period. So, and if we need to, like I said, flag something or mark something, however you want to put it, we can do that, and it can be stored in a different than it would normally.
okay?
Currently, what we do is we'll pull the video and burn it to a DVD. DVD gets tagged, placed into evidence, and could potentially stay there forever. This is going to change how we do things. The officer is going to, we're not going to be burning that, we're not going to be taking that extra time. The officers have access, not the ability to change anything, but the ability to access their videos and prepare them for court or whatever they need to do. And then we have to work with the district attorney's office in reference to how we are going to get the video to them for discovery purposes. But it's all been done before, so I don't see any issues or roadblocks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions of the chief? Go ahead.
I would just like to publicly apologize to you and the police department for that email I sent last week. It was one of those shouldn't have pushed send things, and I just want to publicly apologize for
I
that.
appreciate that, and it's, in the past, no issue.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. Zoning officer, Tony, please.
Yes, good morning, everybody. As usual, I'll give you a full report at the next meeting as to what the zoning department's been up to. But I do have a couple of minor little things here I want to mention to you. It was mentioned previously, the fire department would like some information from the zoning department concerning new buildings, the use in those buildings, the construction type. The zoning department has created a list ready to go over with the three fire departments. I mentioned it to the fire official and also the chief of Reamstown, and they invited me to a meeting that was held yesterday, I believe. I wasn't able to attend because I was in another meeting with our solicitor, with our engineer. But as soon as we get some of that criteria from the three fire departments, we'll really fine tune the list as to what they need and the information that's required. Excuse me, I'm fighting allergies here. Total to date so far, we've got over 300 permits in my department. We still have 3 months to go, so we're busy. You will have your total, as I usually provide. New single-family dwellings, we're up to 42 now. And I have one other issue. There's a resident here that I know, and I was alerted to a situation over in a neighborhood on Audubon Circle, a detached structure that seemed to have a home occupation in it, but we don't have any permitting approval for that occupation. I sent out a notice of violation to that homeowner, and they did contact me. I can get back to you on that. Spoke with the property owner, made her aware of the zoning criteria that's needed for a home occupation. She said she will be in to fill out the zoning hearing board application and seek approval of that type of home occupation. So we'll see how that goes.
Is it
I can just-
possible that there will be a business going on that circle?
Well, in the suburban residential zone, the ordinance states there are certain home occupations you can have. Now, they're restricted to a certain square footage, and they're also restricted to being in the residence. Having a business in a detached structure is not something that would be approved in the suburban residential zone. And I've explained this to the homeowner. So she's got some decisions to make. And if you'd like some more clarification, we could meet after the meeting and talk to you about it.
Is there an amount of people that can be present at one time?
As far as the business is concerned and the criteria in the zoning ordinance, it restricts them to square footage, okay? It restricts them to parking spaces that are permitted, so that would limit how many people can be there. It also states whether it's, I mean, if you've got some sort of a retail use, people will show up 9 to 5, 6 days a week. That's just not going to be approved in the suburban residential zone. But by appointment only, and using examples like a CPA, having an office in his house, by appointment only, he can schedule things. And keep it very regimented. This is why the ordinance has provisions for special exceptions. And in this day and age, with COVID-19, a lot of people working from home, these types of things come in handy for the homeowner to at least provide for their family. There's two problems: a detached structure of that size and the amount of patronage that's going to come through this
Oh,
particular use.
absolutely.
Yeah, so she's got the information. She has until second week of October to get an application into me for a November hearing. So we'll see what she comes back with.
Any penalty for being misled?
I'm sorry?
Any penalty for being misled, which you were?
I really can't respond on that. Like I said, we do conduct a court of law. We have 4 board members, my zoning hearing board. We have a solicitor that runs the meeting. We have a stenographer that keeps record of all this. This is run by any other, just like any other court of law. As far as penalties are concerned, if she comes before the zoning hearing board to apply, until that point, we'll keep things status quo. But I did explain to her that you should not be there, and she shouldn't be doing what she's doing. And we'll see. Hopefully I get an application. If I don't get an application, then we'll take it further. Okay?
Okay. I'll hold further information.
Thank you. Just for your information. And that's the last thing that I have.
Okay. Any questions of the zoning officer? Okay, thank you. Roadmaster Brett.
Yeah, I have my normal report at the next meeting.
Yes, sir.
But as far as moving forward, kind of preparing for the winter time, looking over streets and roads for future projects. Now that we have the tree approval, I'll contact Cocalico Tree Service and go along with that. Line painting is on the schedule for October 12th, 2020. That's going to get started at that date. And my crews will be taking care of that, plus getting into crack sealing towards the end of the season.
Any questions of the roadmaster? Yes.
Chad Weaver.
Yes.
Line Road and Wabash Road, Line Road, Indiantown. West Cocalico had painted the stop bar and the stop letters on their side. Is that an option we're looking at Line and Wabash? And also, can you team up with West to maybe get Line Road painted that way too, that 4-way stop? That has jumped out, just on their side painting that has made that 4-way stop jump out a little bit more.
What was that location?
Line and Wabash.
Okay.
Line in Indiantown, that's kind of split between east and west and the state road in the middle. But if you could get maybe Wabash painted with that, that might help that a little bit.
Okay.
I know the state's gonna take a little bit of work for God to happen, but that would really help that intersection a lot.
Okay, I'll take that into consideration.
How close is that to proximity of where they're going to be?
Without having the list on me, I do
Is
not have
that
a
something
list
that
on
we
me.
could get, can you ask them
Right,
to, if the
absolutely.
board approves it, to do an add-on to while they're out there doing
Okay.
that, the hop over? Because
Yep.
that's the board's list.
We'll take them, yeah.
Yes, I,
No, those stop bars should be out there in all our intersections.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a discussion we had last time.
So,
I mean, they're already mobilized that day and have the stuff.
Absolutely.
put the stop bars at Wabash and Line Road on our side. And then, do you want to contact West Cocalico, the manager there?
Well,
He
let's
said-
go calendar did their side, we're just
Well,
doing our side.
I'm thinking we both should send a letter to the state. Or do you want to talk to the state and see if we can?
Let me talk to West Cocalico first and see where they're at with that situation.
Yeah,
And then him and I will come up, and if we have to, send a
Okay,
letter in,
sounds
we'll
great.
go from there.
okay, Brett, okay, good, thank you, Brett.
Maybe they've already made the connection.
Right.
I don't know if they did or not, but
I'll
we can
find out, I'll get back to you.
Mhm. Okay.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions for the roadmaster? Thank you. Financial administrator?
She will read her full report at the next meeting.
Okay. List of bills, Jeff.
Okay, the list of bills are as presented, $83,705.24 for the general fund. Is there any questions there?
I'll make a motion to approve the list of bills as presented for that amount of money.
And I will second that.
Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. MS4.
Yes, just a few items here.
Fishing Creek Park, the limits of what's going to be turned into meadow were flagged. I was out there yesterday, I believe, and there were a few of the flags that have already vanished. The joys of having flags in a public place. But the spraying, the first step, the spraying for the meadow conversion is going to be.
Ken, why did you remove them?
I needed them somewhere else.
That's off for the winter.
Yes. Rose Hill. We got the cost estimate back from Land Studies on that stormwater basin retrofit. And without contingency and prevailing wage, it comes out to about $35,000. And with the other two items, the 20% contingency factor that they added in the estimate, and the 17% for prevailing wage, comes out to $45,000 for 47 and 67 cents. Considerably more than I had anticipated.
Ken, let me ask you a quick question.
Yes.
Also, their total cost, they have plus minus 20%. So that could be plus minus, that's the variable in addition to the $45,447.
It's included in it.
It is included in there.
Yeah, 45,000 includes the 20% contingency.
Okay. How much higher was this than the original, than what we thought
Well,
roughly? Do you remember? I don't remember.
we didn't have any official estimate for this because we changed the scope of it from what the original pollution reduction plan called for. So I was sort of thinking it would be more like 25 to 30 maybe.
Is Land Studies the only company we've had that looked at this?
That's correct. We've sort of appointed them our MS4 consultants. It certainly could be possible to, when it starts getting expensive like this, to look into getting quotes from other companies or early organizations doing this.
Did I notice in the comments somewhere that there's parts of this that, you know, our guys could do on the road crew, or is it just everything there has to be farmed out?
To be honest, I didn't go through each of these items and see which of our road crew might be able to do. There probably are some of these things they could do.
You know,
May I make a suggestion?
yeah.
Number one, you can only budget on Land Studies amount. You can't contract on their amount. If you put it out to bid, you control whether or not you release it to be done. And then you can figure out, is it in budget or out of budget at that hard money viewpoint.
Yeah, I would say we really don't have enough information at this time to, you know, maybe it would be helpful to go over Ken line by line, maybe with Brett as well, to see if there's parts of that that we can handle. That takes some of the pain out of it, I guess.
Yeah.
It's nothing we really have to act on right away.
No, it's not.
No, but it is budget season, so we do want to get a number
Yeah.
put in there.
Yeah, in my opinion, we put that in the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jeff, I'm looking at what has to be done here. I don't know how much of a bite, Brent, your guys can take out of this number realistically. I don't see this having a 15, 20, 30% impact, right? I just don't see it being significant enough. I like the gentleman's comment, which makes a lot of sense, which is we go ahead and budget it for this amount,
And then hopefully get.
and then bid it out come next year
Fine tune it.
Fine tune it.
and from there.
Yeah, makes sense.
Um,
Yes, Suzie.
Just for clarification, was that just to put in this
Just to rent the work on the,
natural habitat?
no, this is a retention pond for roads.
This is an existing stormwater detention basin, and it would involve changing the outlet structure in it, adding a sediment forebay that is putting in a separate internal section the water initially goes into, so the sediment falls out there rather than out in the whole basin, changing the vegetation, and some, probably no other regrading other than the two inlets into the basin.
Okay.
So the whole purpose of that is to reduce the sediment load that we're contributing to the Chesapeake Bay. So that's part of our requirement, that we have to do this kind of stuff.
It's MS4
Yep.
related.
DEP.
Yep, MS4.
Yeah.
Yes,
The-
Jim?
Go ahead, Ken.
The township has an MS4 requirement that we do projects that will remove a certain amount of sediment, which is equal to 151,000 pounds a year, has to be reduced. And this project will reduce, I think it's a number right in front, I believe it's around 17,000 pounds.
Jim?
Jim Kinpack, whose property is this?
This is,
Is this township property that we're spending this money on, or is it somebody else's property?
this is private property. It's the Macaulay's, they're about 5 rows on, it's the second house on the right-hand side street coming into the development. But they ended up with a lot that has the basin on it. And the reason why we're doing this is not to make it better for them, we're doing it for the sediment reduction credit that the township has to get. And so basically they're allowing us to do that on their property. It's not really improving their property, it's not going to make their property more valuable, it just makes the basin work better.
Well, I assume there's other properties that ordered that creek. Are we doing this for all of the properties that
There's
ordered
only
that
one
creek?
basin that's on just this one lot. It's all in one lot.
But that creek goes into Adamstown. There's no other properties that are part of this basin?
There's no other large basin like that that can easily retrofit. That's an easy way to do it and much cheaper than working on the stream bank, doing that sort of project.
And it's in the urbanized area, which we are required to perform our work in.
Right, and MS4 has to be in the urbanized area.
But not all that property is in Adamstown. That's what I'm getting to. Are
And
we
it's not
gonna
all,
have that-
and it's not all
It doesn't matter.
urbanized area, all the other properties throughout the township that you might be thinking of are not in the urbanized area. And we have to perform this work in the urbanized areas per DEP.
Okay, I got that. But what I'm asking is, there are other properties that go along that creek that may be part of the area where the endangered species, bog turtles are. So will we have to do this over and over again because there's other properties that go around? The person who purchased all that property in East Cocalico and Adamstown, is he going to be responsible for any of this other area?
No, the sediment reduction is a township requirement, not an individual landowner requirement. So the township has to find places where we can get that. And where we can get that easily or somewhat more affordably, where there's a detention basin that we can go modify. And that's a limited number. There are no other detention basins along Muddy Creek in that area.
Okay, thank you.
We don't need to make a motion or anything.
No, he's just giving you an update.
Yes. And one other thing has come up. Next to the township building on the other side of our parking lot is a large field area which isn't being mowed. We turned that over to the farmer. It's too wet to farm. And to avoid the situation we have now, the other day I came out of the building midday and there was a breeze coming off there. It looked like it was snowing, wheat seeds blowing past. So we might want to think about doing something about that. And one way that we can solve the situation would be to go ahead and convert that to meadow. So we lose the maintenance on it. So there's a current problem there that needs a solution, either going back to mowing it or something.
Okay,
Something to think about.
we'll take that into consideration.
So the board can think about that, keep that on your votes desk again, Ken?
Yes. Okay, and that's all I have for now.
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback a little bit off of that, Ken. The other week, Ken and I went out to Farmer David Weaver on Kramer Mill Road. We went out to inspect some of the conservation work that he had done on the farm. And he went with his own expense to create a waterway on the farm. There had been a ditch there and a gully and erosion happening, and I had mentioned this last meeting that he had been at our farmer meeting back in March, and he was encouraged to make these conservation improvements on his farm. You know, Ken and I both had a visual look at what he did there, and he did a really nice job. He needed to touch up a little seeding there. He had this fall that he said he was going to do. But, you know, anytime you can take a gully and make a grass waterway out of it, that's a big improvement to his farm, and it also helps us on our MS4 side. I had asked him if he would allow us to highlight what he did there in a future newsletter, and he said he would. He's proud of what he did, and you know, I want to promote that as much as we can, because it's going to help us from a municipal perspective. So you know, I guess with board approval in the future, Ken had put an outline together of the visit with some pictures, and I'll share that with you. And we can highlight that. Hopefully that would encourage future landowners to do something similar, and it's all positive for us from an MS4 standpoint. So, you know, and even as a result of our talking with him, he said, well, there's one other spot that maybe I'd like to deal with too. So he was proud of what he did. He was encouraged with the work and the recognition he's receiving, and you know, that's all good news. So
He's a plain farmer.
yes, yes.
So in addition to everything that Mr. Mitchell said, you know, it'll also help us meet one of our MCM requirements of public education. You know, again, another area that we have to meet every single year. And by putting that out in the newsletter, not only, you know, might it bring other residents to do that, but it helps us meet that requirement. So.
Anything you'd like to add, Ken?
Yeah, just the definition of a grassy waterway for those who aren't farmers. Basically what he did is there's an area where it's kind of a farm lane, went down a fairly steep hill between areas planted in corn. He'd drive his tractor and other equipment down that, and over the years it was eroding. There was a deep gully that the water was running to, that every time it ran down the hill, it carried more soil down into the stream at the base of the hill. So what the project is to take it from the sharp channel that's there, smooth it out so it's a wide, broad surface, and then plant it in grass so you don't have any more erosion. So it now acts like a stream, but with no erosion because it's all planted in grass.
Yeah, just the fact that he took the initiative on his own expense. He went and got a big skid loader to do the grading. You know, I think there was some expense to him to do it, and he did it without looking for any reimbursement.
He
So
did it all his own, which is commendable.
yes.
Jeff, let me ask you this, and Ken. Two things. First one is this something we should be penning a letter to him, thanking him for doing this?
Well, there again, you deal with the plain community, and I was a little.
That's why I'm asking.
I was a little surprised that he was as receptive as he was to us highlighting it in a newsletter, but he said yes, and you know, I think he was buying into the idea. So I don't know. I think
I think certainly understands and appreciate what he's doing.
Right, so
Yeah.
just a thought to think about.
Yes.
That would be a nice one to pen a letter from MS MS4 from Ken, just thanking him.
Yep.
The other question that I had is considering what he did there and the points you're bringing out. I just opened it up here on my laptop. You know, we have, of course, we have the MS4 tab for our website, right? Is this possibly something, Ken, that you add this now as to one of the...
Yeah, we can put that on the website, there is an agriculture page there.
Right, because especially if that's, if that's really the proactive approach, that will really be beneficial to everyone.
Well, I made the point with Mr. Weaver, I said, you received the township newsletter, and he said, oh yeah, and then I said, would you mind being in it? But Ken made a good point later, it's like, well, do you read it? It's the recurring scuttlebutt in the township, well, everybody receives it, how many of them actually read it page front to back?
My feeling is you put something in there about his farm in it, he'll read it, he'll tell his friends and church members too about it, and they may, word of mouth, it does a lot.
Yeah, and Alan brings up a great point. If it's out there, at least it's the catalyst. And then we don't know what happens from there.
I can go ahead and put that thing I wrote up with the pictures onto the webpage now if you want.
Yeah, I don't know why not.
Yeah.
It's here if you want to look at
This
it.
is the picture.
What this is.
Yeah, I just, you know, thank you, Ken, for what you do there. That, I think if we can keep getting the message out, it's going to help us.
Yeah.
And, you know, if we can avoid that stream restoration in Reamstown Park with the high dollar figure put onto that, I think it's all the better. We're looking at meeting with our consulting firm in the near future about how we can expand on this waterway project to help eliminate us having to do any of that stream bank restoration and expand the farmer base on this. So there'll be more of that in the future.
This is a lot bang for the bucks.
Yeah, he paid for it all himself.
Yeah, and the more we can get done, the less it takes out of our budget.
Yep, absolutely.
And saves everybody tax money.
Absolutely.
Gentlemen,
Yes, sir.
in lieu of dollars, instead of dollars, would the supervisors consider helping with some kind of permitting for the homeowner, farmer to work in a wetlands area where it's illegal to work in that area without a permit?
That's not our call. Wetlands are controlled by DEP in the state. Yeah,
I'm not touching a wetland.
yeah, we can't make those calls.
Good question, but,
Federally protected.
yeah, we have under control.
I'll go there.
Okay, moving on, Rose Hill Development.
Alan, may I say something before we start this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we move on to Rose Hill, I just wanted to add to what Alan had said earlier at the beginning of the meeting. I normally don't do this, but I actually took the time to write something out. I want to address Ms. Kim back in the community at large relative to my personal philosophy and belief related to the manner of the responses to your questions at our last meeting related to Rose Hill. The tone and the tenor of the responses and the overall handling of your questions left me with an unfortunate impression that this board henceforth will be terminating conversations or lines of questioning from residents when this board solely and exclusively determines that we have provided a sufficient answer or previously addressed tonight. Thereby, we will terminate the conversation regardless if the basis of your questions were answered or even understood by you. I do not agree with this. I believe part of our responsibility as your representatives is not to act in any way, shape, or form or give any impression of being the sole exclusive judge and jury determining when your questions are answered or even understood by you. You are the sole exclusive judge of that. We have a duty to conduct a meeting in such a way as to keep it moving forward, yet our duty does not alleviate us from the responsibility